What we ingest impacts far more than our waistlines. The food we eat may determine the very contours of our minds. For centuries, philosophers have noted that dietary choices appear connected to mood. The English writer Samuel Johnson once proclaimed, "The greatest part of a man's happiness depends upon the quality of his food." Yet modern medicine has been slow to investigate this link. We've viewed depression as arising from neural dysfunction, not nutritional deficiency, but emerging research now confirms what monks and shamans knew all along. Nutrition can profoundly influence our mental health. And one long misunderstood dietary approach is proving uniquely powerful in treating psychiatric illness. To comprehend why, we must first grasp how our grey matter functions, that walnut-shaped organ ensconced in our skull, which we rely upon for every perception and thought. For the brain to operate optimally, its billions of cells must activate constantly. Like a bustling corporation, each neuron must communicate with others to enable us to see, feel, think, and act. Every mental function requires neuronal energy. Fortunately, the brain is adept at meeting its own energy needs thanks to tiny organelles within our neurons, the mitochondria. These microscopic power plants convert nutrients into molecular fuel, known as ATP. This substance powers each cellular process. Mitochondria manufacture ATP on demand, ensuring the brain always has energy. But what if the brain's power plants falter? Mental activity would sputter, neurotransmitters would fail to release properly, nerve cells would struggle communicating. Without vigilant mitochondria, devastating neurological problems can manifest. This very scenario may underlie many psychiatric disorders. Conditions like depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, and bipolar involve cellular miscommunication. Neurotransmitters seem imbalanced, neurons struggle connecting. Medications adjust neurotransmitters, but patients rarely achieve full remission. Groundbreaking research now indicates that mitochondrial dysfunction could be the fundamental problem in mental illness, and certain diets may be the key to overcoming it. In 1921, Dr. Russell Wilder invented a radical new eating plan to improve mitochondrial health. At the Mayo Clinic, he devised the ketogenic diet to treat children with severe epilepsy. Epilepsy was then untreatable, frequently leading to brain damage and early death in kids. For millennia, fasting had been observed to reduce seizures, but prolonged food avoidance meant starvation. Instead, Wilder mimicked fasting metabolically with a high-fat, low-carb diet. This induced ketosis, where the liver converts fat into ketones to fuel the brain in place of glucose. The results were remarkable. 50% of epileptic children became seizure-free on the ketogenic diet. It helped where nothing else could. But in 1938, a serendipitous discovery sidelined interest in Wilder's diet. A chemical compound called phenytoin reliably reduced seizures and became the first anticonvulsant medication. Doctors understandably gravitated towards this revolutionary pill. The proven nutritional approach was sadly forgotten. Yet for 30% of patients, seizures persist despite medication. In the 1990s, the ketogenic diet made a comeback for these treatment-resistant cases. It continues, providing profound relief where drugs fail. How might this success translate to mental health? In truth, it already has. Since the 1950s, anticonvulsants have been used extensively in psychiatry. They were found to stabilize mood and quell psychosis. Drugs like lithium, Depakote, and Lamictal are mainstays of mental health treatment today. If anticonvulsants help psychiatric patients, perhaps their ancestral dietary treatment could too. Pioneering psychiatrists are now clinically applying the ketogenic diet and documenting its mental benefits. Remarkable case studies abound. A 33-year-old schizophrenic man tormented by voices and delusions lost 160 pounds through dietary ketosis. His psychiatric symptoms began improving within weeks. After 2 months, his auditory hallucinations simply evaporated. He was able to live independently for the first time in years. Another treatment-resistant patient with chronic suicidal depression recovered completely within 1 month on the ketogenic diet. She became hypomanic upon keto initiation, elated, energetic, ebullient. This abrupt transformation astounded her psychiatrist. These miraculous turnarounds from dietary intervention beg explanation. What's happening in the brain to produce such dramatic clinical improvements without drugs? The glorious complexity of our cranial command center precludes definitive answers, but cutting-edge research offers clues. The ketogenic diet enhances crucial mitochondrial processes like mitophagy and biogenesis. It also curbs inflammation, optimizes neurotransmitters, and stabilizes mood-regulating hormones. To fathom how nutritional ketosis enhances mental health, we must first comprehend its effects on mitochondria and metabolism. These cellular turbines have a limited lifespan. Like aging car engines, they accumulate wear and begin malfunctioning after sufficient operating time. Replacing defective mitochondria is vital for cellular integrity. Here, the ketogenic diet exhibits wondrous effects. By mimicking starvation, it activates recycling pathways to eliminate dysfunctional mitochondria through mitophagy. Next, cells stimulate mitochondrial biogenesis, generating new mitochondria to replace those discarded. This 1-2 punch of destruction and creation leaves cells revitalized with high-functioning mitochondria. Research shows the ketogenic diet reliably increases rates of mitophagy and biogenesis. Through this mitochondrial renewal, it may optimize cellular energetics and communication. Hyperexcitable, misfiring neurons, like those in epilepsy and possibly psychiatric illness, regain stability. Healthy mitochondrial function underlies the diet's transformative neurological benefits. Additional mechanisms complement mitochondrial enhancement. The diet improves insulin sensitivity, lowers inflammation, and reduces oxidative stress. Glucose and insulin, which spike after carb-heavy meals, appear detrimental to psychiatric patients' brains when chronically elevated. Furthermore, the diet structurally remodels the hippocampus, the brain's center for memory and mood. It increases specialized proteins that strengthen neural connections. Over time, mood circuitry may become more resilient. The diet also alters gut flora, the microbiome lining our intestines. Gut bacteria regulate digestion, immunity, and even neurotransmitters influencing our mind. The ketogenic diet optimizes our internal ecosystem. Targeting the microbiome may prove an exciting complement to psychiatric treatment. Perhaps the greatest challenge for ketogenic therapy in mental health is overcoming established ideas about nutrition and the brain. For decades, the medical establishment has insisted that quality mental health necessitates carbohydrate ingestion. Any encouragement of high-fat, low-carb diets was deemed reckless and irresponsible. But paradigm shifts require challenging ingrained assumptions. One must place scientific curiosity and patient benefit above established dogma. The data should direct us, not institutional protocol. And for now, the data on linking metabolism and psychiatric illness remains limited. Larger controlled trials are needed to truly demonstrate efficacy and safety. Without rigorous evidence, many physicians will discount dietary therapy as inconsequential. They retain a blind commitment to current pharmacological options. Yet it seems unwise to dismiss therapies with demonstrated patient benefit, however initially improbable the mechanisms may seem. Our comprehension of biology will always remain incomplete. If dietary change grants relief from incurable conditions, patients deserve access regardless of medical preconceptions. Of course, nutrition should complement medication, not to replace it prematurely. Certain situations may necessitate drugs. Any treatment changes should occur under medical guidance. Nevertheless, we cannot ignore the power of nutrition to heal the mind. The possibility of recovery sans medications is too remarkable to disregard. With prudence and open minds, we must investigate nutritional therapy for psychiatry. Metabolism could prove the missing key to solving its deepest mysteries.